Yeah, that's the trick, right? Like, there's no way every one of these games is just standard for the meta. So, I mean, it's just going to be super fun with all these players. Again, I love Future a lot. He's very young. I think at this point he's 17.
Yeah, 17, 18, I'm guessing, somewhere around
According
there.
to...
Young anyway.
He is 17. He'll be 18 in March.
All
So,
right.
yeah, he's got some time. He's a baby. He's basically a Rainer is what we're looking at here. He's the American Rainer, just a young player, tons of promise. No, he hasn't made it to the final two of BlizzCon like Rainer just did.
All right,
But
now
I do expect a lot from this guy.
here's the question. Is he going to pull a Neeb, switch from Terran to Protoss, and then have a lot of success? Because it's around
That's
the
the
time
trick, right? Yeah.
that Neve did that. But anyway, here we are, up in the top left-hand side of the map. It's Infinity Gaming's future.
And in the bottom right, he's blue. He's Roots DisK.
So, honestly, I haven't seen too much of DisK play, but I checked out his ladder ranking, and he's ranked 3 on NA.
3. Wow.
Yeah,
That's
I was a little bit
unexpected,
surprised.
sure.
Like, I knew he was a good Protoss, but I didn't know he was that high up.
That's pretty fantastic. There's some pretty decent NA players out there he's competing against, too.
Namely, Future is one of them as well. He's him,
Yep.
Puck, I guess maybe... Who else competes for rank 1? I know it's really
Well,
Future, Puck.
Neeb.
Yeah, Neeb usually ladders on EU, though.
Well, that's true. He could dink around on NA every once in a
If,
while.
if he really wanted to, I'm sure he could.
Yeah. So I guess we're not counting Scarlet or
No.
Special then.
Well, Scarlet at this point, I think, is she's Korean, because she pretty much spends all of her time there, I think.
Can she not? Oh, interesting. So she doesn't even bother with the NA anymore.
No. Yeah, and that's why it's important to highlight talent of guys like Future and DisK. I think Future is probably the guy with most of the hype going around him for NA. There's always up-and-comers, but he's one of the guys that is showing like some really good results and is showing like a lot of promise. He's really fast and everything. And if he's one of the players that feels like he's really not at his peak yet, and that's what makes him really exciting to watch.
Exactly. That is the same in all sports, honestly. Young players with tons of potential, you're not quite sure how good they can be in the future is really exciting no matter what you're watching. So Reaper trying to do stuff. For some reason have 5 probes on this assimilator.
He wants all the
'cause,
gas.
Yep. It's a secret technique that not many people know about.
One dead probe. Oh,
Ooh, that probe almost got revenge. That was awesome for a
that
second.
would have been great. Was this a? I didn't actually catch it. Was this a gateway into Nexus or a Cybercore first opening?
I don't know.
I
That is a
don't
great
know
question.
myself either. They're so similar, but
Yeah.
I'm guessing it was a gateway into Nexus, which is usually the situation which Protoss will lose a probe. Oh, cool! Reaper jump from Future.
Yeah, getting back
Ooh,
in
is
here.
he gonna
Depth
get
has to
another?
shade on over. You can focus.
Another
There you
one.
go. Gets another kill. Not
Oh,
bad.
does
Look at
he
this
get out
probe.
too?
Look at that lost
Oh.
mining time too. Oh nope, you're in trouble.
Hmm?
Juke. Juke.
This is the thing. Guys like Future are just so quick.
No, the shade.
Toss the grenade, toss the grenade. Oh,
No,
just
not enough.
mistimed it.
A little bit off there. It's okay. 2 kills for a Reaper and a TvP is fantastic.
And a scout, so really did
Yeah.
his job. Future, he's moving out with 2 Marines.
I don't know why you would do that. Okay.
I don't
Coming back
either.
home.
He's also got 2 Widowmines just hanging out here. Phoenix!
Nope.
Lucky
Ooh.
Phoenix.
Phoenix was like, what was that? Oh, look at this bait. Look at that
Yeah,
bait. That was
DisK
really
wasn't
good.
born yesterday, though. He knows.
Hey, look, there's a medevac over here. Come get it.
So, is this going to be a kind of push from Future? He's got a decent amount of Marines for firepower, and then a few Widowmines, which are great for zoning. And there isn't... I mean, there's the Phoenix and the Adepts, but there's not a lot of firepower for the Protoss here.
There's really not. He's only got 3 workers, but he's got about half the supply of army that Future has at the moment. Future is tossing me on a 3rd command center, so it's not a 2-base all-in if he's going to attack at this point, but he's not moving, is the thing. He's pretty happy to sit back and defend at this moment, waiting for an Oracle, waiting for the Phoenix to come in and cause some problems. He's ready to go with both a Viking and a Cyclone, and a couple Marines. This is some pretty solid anti-air harassment play.
Yeah. I guess we probably won't be seeing a push, though, because Future invested in that 3rd command center, right?
Right. I mean, at this point, harassment, yes. Not a serious try to kill your opponent push, though.
You gotta give it to him, though, for trying the harassment since there's Phoenix out on the map. Moving out with a medivac,
dangerous.
it's just so risky. Because sometimes it can just get shut down like nothing. Then you're like, well, threw away medivac in a couple of mines, so we'll see if that happens to Future or not. I really am liking the style that DisK is going into, though. It looks like we're going to be seeing a bit of that Phoenix Colossus, if I had to guess, which is just such a good style, in my opinion.
Yeah, it is pretty good if your opponent, especially, is going for a lot of Marines, which additional barracks are under construction here for Future. So definitely looking at bio. It's a question of how many Marauders he has versus these Colossus. They can be really bad or they can be really good, depending on the Terran composition. So going for the Colossus at this point, I've seen this go really poorly recently, and actually Home Story Cup had an example of some bad Colossus play versus Terran. So
which
I'm worried
matchup?
about it. Oh, no, in PvT. Yeah. It was basically, there were just enough Marauders that the Colossus
Sorry, I mean, who was it?
Murderized. I don't remember. I've watched a lot of Home Story.
Yeah, I haven't been able to
last
catch
couple
as
days.
much as I'd like. I've been getting off work pretty much kind of as the tournament's ending, so...
Yeah, that's not
Sad
great
times.
timing. Yeah, I don't know who it was. I think maybe Special was involved because it was some pretty scary Marauder
Special
control.
and Mana, maybe?
Maybe.
Sounds like a Mana thing to do.
Kind of does. So Widowmine burrows in, ends up getting a probe kill, and then is toast. It's not really worth it in that situation at all.
how about this
Widowmine here, nice lift and kill. DisK just shut this down hard. Medevac is gone.
Just goes to show,
one probe kill.
sometimes patience doesn't pay off. Future kept that medivac hiding back for ages. And it's
Didn't
still got
accomplish
nothing done.
anything with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, an observer is out. That could get picked off. This is just the biggest justification for building the Raven. But no, Future, get it.
Oh, it stopped. Okay, that helps.
Yeah. I really do enjoy when the Terran builds a Raven because just the amount of money that a scan costs, in the sense that it's not a mule,
Exactly.
it really does help justify the Raven.
I think the math is around 300 minerals.
Yeah, I think it's like 270 or something, but
Yeah.
that's 5 Marines.
Yeah, and the Raven is gas heavy,
What?
but it's a one-time cost. You can use it for anti-armor missile too.
Every observer that gets scanned and killed kills 5 Marines with it.
It's true. Just amazingly cost-effective, those observers. So, extended thermal lance coming in, which indicates that DisK is planning on going for even more Colossus than he has now. You don't get that upgrade and stop making Colossus, I don't think.
Yeah, and he's building a second Robo too. Wow, that's a big commitment. Second Robo, 4th base. This is just a macro game here.
Really is. I mean, we're looking at a ton of bio on the ground, a couple tanks in the mix. Tanks have always been good against Colossus. Ghost Academy getting started for Future back home. And just working on 2-2 for all of his bio. So he's got a good composition. Marauder count seems fairly high. 2 tanks are going to be super useful. Anti-armor missile is going to be great if DisK decides to push on in here. DisK is going for a 4th base. There's a bit of Phoenix harass at the natural of Future at the moment.
Trying to...
Lifting and killing. Wow. Good number of SCVs. No turrets there at all.
Okay, now we don't... Oh, he even gets the Raven. Oh my gosh.
That was an effective push with those Phoenix. Holy smokes.
That was completely worth it. That is
Alright,
actually, like, insanely good for DisK. He doesn't have to worry about a push near as much now.
Yeah,
Because
not having to worry
yeah.
about anti-armor missile is a big deal. That is a major problem.
Yeah,
for
the
Protoss in
interference
general.
matrix being gone is just amazing for the Protoss player, because sometimes Terran will just stim on in after that, but that's not the case anymore. Future, he's got to be like, well, what am I going to do? The Raven would have been a huge part of that push, and now it's just gone.
Ugh. So EMP Shockwave upgrade is coming in from Future, just increasing the radius of that EMP coming off the Ghosts, which is pretty nice. And Future decides to go for it. Who needs a Raven? He says, let's just go murder stuff.
I mean, his army is pretty terrifying at this point. Loses
Yeah.
a Viking, though. Loses a second Viking. Good blink
A third.
from... Wow. 4th Viking. Oh my gosh, he's just killing Vikings for days. Now, The army composition of DisK, I feel, isn't that good compared to Futures. There's a lot of stalkers in it, which aren't that muscular. So he's going to have to rely on a big hit with the Disruptor, I feel. He's actually stepping forward into the Siege Tanks and the Bio. This seems like a pretty bad engagement.
No Novas either. He just lost the Disruptor without getting a single Purification Nova off, and now Future
DisK
is really scary all of a sudden. He does pull back. He's a little overstimmed.
Yeah, DisK just lost so many Stalkers. 15 Stalkers died there.
Yeah, Stalkers cannot stand and fight against this much Bio with tank support. There's no way.
No, there's only one tank left, and there is a Disruptor here, which is going to zone back the Terran army. DisK is going to have to wait till he gets more out, though. Upgrades are actually in the lead for Future here. EMP's being added on into this. Good focus fire on the Vikings, allowing the Colossus to stay alive and get their damage done, is actually very important for DisK. Without these Colossus shredding up the stimmed Bio, Future would just be able to push on in. He's not leaving empty-handed, though. Yeah,
taking that Nexus down was huge. Immediate replacement from DisK, because he is a good StarCraft player. You got to do that. If it's safe to do so, replace bases that die as fast as you possibly can. So I'm kind of surprised we're not seeing more Ravens in production here. At all. It's just like, well, one Raven is all it is. We're done.
It's because you go into the tech lab, or into the reactor, so then it's like a massive ordeal to swap it back. DisK, though, he's saying, right, enough is enough. I'm just going to try and counterattack and kill you. I don't know how well this is going to work out. Really, the only damage in this army is the Colossus. He's got the Disruptors, too, but pushing the Disruptors can be a little tricky. Future's got that wall, deflects the Disruptor Nova. Oh, but the blink!
That was a bad blink. Nova, great split, though. Beautiful split from Future. Holy smokes. This one also very good, although not a very good Nova from DisK,
hard.
Yeah, Disruptor's getting killed here. Charge loss getting on top of this. They're not doing super well.
Yeah,
Future's not even really bothering to micro. That Colossus is super mega dead. There
Disruptor.
It is. So 94 to 47 army. Again, Future's up about double in army supply compared to what the Protoss player is doing here. But Future not really pushing in for the kill. He's overstimmed. He needs to let his medevacs rest for a minute and actually get some healing done.
Yeah, he's been trading very efficient, though. 9,000 resources lost to about 12,000 of DisK, if we take a look at that. So pretty good for Future, since usually Protoss is the one that tends to trade more favorably, I guess. So really goes to show how well it's going for him. He is stimming on in, though, and every time you engage versus Disruptors, it's a little bit risky. Eats nothing too major there, but even gets the Prism, which I think had High Templars in it.
Base goes down again here for DisK. He's back to being a 3-basing Protoss versus a 4-basing Terran. Never where you want to live. Additional Colossus out, man. I told you, Colossus production to the end of time here.
They are, yeah. It's really good the way that some Protoss players have been incorporating in Colossus, kind of past their expiration date in a sense, because, I mean, Future, he made Vikings, but he lost them all, and DisK's like, oh, I can build Colossus again.
And it seems to be working out okay for him. Future doesn't want to engage. Nice EMP. Catching a large chunk of those gateway units. Liberators being added in. Flank attack of new non-overstimmed Terran. Nova, big time hit.
The Novas.
Goes down with that one. Disruptor kind of A-moves to its death there, but the Colossus count is suddenly
Wow,
4,
is DisK turning this around?
On the back foot, our Terran player running home. Medevac does get picked off. I think it was full of units too. And army supply 68 to 63. DisK has a lead coming right on into the Great Wall of Supply Depots at the third base. Sensor tower getting sniped off. And DisK pulls back when the Liberator sets up.
Yeah, Future really has no answer to these 4 Colossus now. He's got to go back into Vikings, right?
I mean, the production tab says Liberators, so apparently not.
Yeah, but, like, this is just so many Colossus. Without Vikings, they are so tough to take on. And, the Liberators can kind of stall, but unless you really got the Protoss pin, they're not that great. Future, though, is going hard into Liberators off of his 4 bases. He's just saying, right, you can't push into all my Liberators, so he's going to go into a counterattack as well. We'll see if he's able to get anything done. DisK, I think, kind of sniffs this out, but he's not fully aware of where the drop is.
Yeah, he's staying home enough to where he's worried about something like this happening. More Disruptors on the way. Another sensor tower being rebuilt for Future. He wants that vision that the towers give him. And a 5th base on the way from Future. So economically, he's been doing great. His macro has been really on top of things today. On the drop in the main. There you go. That's what it was.
There's that big drop. Forge is a little bit exposed, but 3-3's already been researched, so not a big deal. Future's going to elect to get the Robo Bay, but he eats a ton of Psy Storms for it.
Oh, crazy amounts of Storm there. So yeah, losing 2 Forges, Robotics Bay, more of a concern if you're going to make more Colossus. So better get that rebuilt as soon as possible here, DisK. 121, 127 to 120 supply. DisK ahead in army supply, down in worker count, and down in base count.
The Liberator count's pretty scary, though, at this point. Future with 10, he's got that advanced ballistics, so now he's just really going to be able to zone out the Protoss. DisK is wishing that he didn't lose all of his Stalkers before, because right now he's got 8 Stalkers to contend with, like, 10 Liberators in this fight. He's going to lose yet another Nexus. He's trying to go around the army, which I think is a good call here. Forcing Future back is actually really good for DisK right now.
Holy smokes, DisK. I really feel like he's been in great position the whole game, but suddenly Liberator count making me worry about him again. Liberator's just throwing down
Nova,
circles.
oh, big hit!
Nicely done, DisK. Backing away from the Circles of Doom. Does not really have any way to deal with those at all. Stalker count not very high. Tempest count non-existent. Warping in 9 Stalkers at the moment, trying to help deal with this, but he is in trouble.
Yeah, he's got a Templar in that Prism still, too, I believe. So, could also land a big Psystorm, which really can help soften up Liberators. If he's going to take on these Liberators, it's not going to be through a creep. It's going to be through a snap engagement, and he's looking for it by bouncing all over the map. Future, though, sieging up his Liberators once again, forcing the Protoss back. Stalkers blink, pick off a Liberator.
Boy, this has been
Oh,
one
Nova!
back and forth.
Okay,
Decent
connection.
hit. Not as good as it could have been, but still pretty good. And, you know, Future's okay with his dance.
Yeah.
He's got his 5 bases. He's just working on maxing out. DisK is doing the same thing.
And take a look at DisK. He hasn't rebuilt his 4th base.
Oh, I thought he had.
No, he's really committed to this. He's looking for some serious damage. He's going to find the 5th base. It's getting repaired, but SCVs can't contend with that much DPS. So the Planetary Fortress does go down. Future is counterattacking, which is putting both these players into a scary spot. It's going into a bit of a base race right now.
Yeah, Future's not interested in saving that base unless it's throwing down a million Liberator circles, which is totally fine.
Oh, a million Liberator circles might be an understatement. This is just...
Oh my gosh.
It's a flower. It's a flower of Liberators.
It is. A dangerous one that will murder you. Future decides to come on back home.
Oh,
I mean,
DisK wants to push on in, but the Planetary underneath all the Liberators makes it very tough to do. The Stalkers do go for it. They get underneath a lot of the Libs. This is DisK's moment, and he is picking them off as they were split up. All the Liberators weren't here, and suddenly Future losing a lot. He's attacking from the south, though, trying to clean this up. DisK has pushed through most of the Liberators. He's focusing down the remaining, and his Colossus stands strong. So can he clean up the Bioforce that's coming in now?
Coming in from different directions, trying to give the Colossus different targets to go for. Really nice surround here from Future.
Oh, more Liberators coming in Vikings as well.
The Stalkers trying to fight against all these Liberators. Vikings clearing the Colossus
It's so
out.
close.
DisK does not have enough. He's going to lose that Colossus.
Oh, warping in more Stalkers and Zealots. This is pretty much his last hurrah. DisK has no economy behind this.
Future has 14 SCVs.
Yeah, he's got mules, though, too. A Psystorm goes down from DisK. He focuses down the Liberators. There's none remaining. His Stalkers get on top of this. Future's compromised at this point, it would seem. He has been pushed away once more. And his 3rd base could actually go down here.
Oh, what a game one from these players. He ends up losing the orbital.
Yeah, he does. I mean, did DisK get enough damage, though? He has rebuilt his 3rd base, but that's not really mining at all. He's got 37 probes versus 16 SCVs. The incomes are just horrible for both players. This game could still go either way, I feel. Future retreating with his Marauder heavy army. There is going to be a Psystorm in the mix, and the Marauders are already softened up. Templar dropped. Good split from Future, but he does have to retreat through the Psystorm, and he's eating more and more damage here. He focuses down the Stalkers, though.
The Marauder is doing some serious damage right now, but getting chewed up by the Zealots in turn. Army supply 33 to 21.
What a game.
The longer this goes, you said it, it's mules, man. Future's economy is not great, but mules are going to help him stay afloat.
Yeah, DisK is long-distance mining, so the incomes are pretty darn close at this point. But Future, he's even starting to mine out. He's only got 5 patches left at this base. This is such a scrappy TvP. Future's looking to move out for a drop, which I feel is very, very risky. If this gets cleaned up, I think it's pretty much just GG, right?
It feels like it. If DisK had been able to sneak in a replacement 4th base at some point, he'd be in a better position.
Yeah.
But at this point, he's
going for the Nexus. There's Stalkers underneath, though. These Medivacs got to be so careful. They blink. Oh, the Medivac.
And thankfully, no more blink available on those Stalkers.
No, I mean, it's getting pursued. These 2 Stalkers, could they get it? Oh, Future hesitates. Is he going to lose it? Yes. Oh,
big time.
A full Medivac.
Army supply 46 to 35 in favor of Future. This is stupid. What an incredibly great late game this is.
Yeah, what a fantastic TvP. Future, I'd like to see him float over one of his command centers soon so he can mine more optimally. He's dropping mules for days. It's so, like, it's impossible to say what you should do in this situation right now. Both players are just kind of, I guess, just falling back on what they think is the right thing to do. Just make as many units as you can. Try and keep your economy going to whatever lengths you can. We see Future. He says, right, I'm going to go for the kill right now. He's pushing on in. He's going to get a few probes. He's probably going to grab the Nexus, too, which is a very nice pick-off. That's a big chunk of DisK's economy gone. The Templar in the Prism. Psystorm goes down, but Future dodges it. He's retreating once more. The Templar could come in with another Storm. It hits. Widowmine's getting added on into the mix, and the Prism actually goes down. That is a big win for Future, I feel.
Yeah, at this point, DisK is long-distance mining with his probes, which is not super great for income anymore. Future has been able to expand either. But at this point, Army Supply definitely favoring Future. He just has a big, scary bio army in the mix. Some Widow Mines here that aren't quite ready to go.
The mines are not ready to go. The Stalkers are trying to handle the bio, but it looks like there might just be a bit too much here for Future. DisK can't replace his forces, and GG gets called as Future takes game number 1.
Wow.
What a game. What a crazy game.
What a game number 1 for us today. That was a fantastic start. And really, I just think it came down to the fact that DisK did not replace his 4th base. If he had done that, he'd be in a much better position. But as it stands, he finds himself down 2-0.
Yeah.
Whew, incredible stuff. So there is Matcherino for this event. The link is in chat, and the code AW47 is going to get you basically an addition to the prize pool here. So let's go ahead and go over to the link. Matcherino.com/tournament/22159 for those of you who just may be listening. Loading up here, you can sign in with every single account that you have. Apparently, Battle.net, Facebook, Google, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Discord, and Microsoft, if you want to.
Yeah.
But yeah, at the very least, all you have to do here is toss in that code, AW47. It will add to the prize pool, allowing these players who work so hard today and playing and competing for that cash to have a little bit more to take home when they win.
Yeah, exactly. It gives the players a few free dollars. At the least we can do is use all the codes. If you enjoy these crazy games, you can get the replays as a way to support. And then, yeah, looks like we're ready to load on into the next game.
All right, looks like we're all in the lobby. Players here as well. They've got their correct races selected. And, oh, you're using GameHeart, yeah?
Yeah, but the thing is, GameHeart's an extension mod.
Oh, right. and you're playing on the test mod for the current patch or future patch. Are you?
Yeah. We're on the
Okay.
test mod.
Gotcha. That makes sense. I was just noticing that there wasn't any fancy Game Hard stuff. So now I know why.
Yes, that is why.
Yeah,
If anyone happens to be watching from Team Liquid, by the way, or happens to know a Team Liquid admin that is awake at this hour, we would love to get the event moved forward on the calendar. As it says it starts in 2 hours, but I think we're live now. I'm pretty certain of that. So
I'm looking at the stream right now, so yeah, we're there.
all right, so let's just jump into the next game here. It's only a best of 3, so this man only needs to win one more map. It's Future.
And in the top left, fought really hard that last game. It's DisK. Okay, so we're looking at, man, those Zealots were not doing their 8 damage.
No, they weren't. That is a good point.
They were doing pretty well for themselves, considering then.
Yeah, I think the main aspect of Zealots is still tanking. Like,
Right.
and it was even before that, I feel. Because the Terran, like, whether the Zealots are dealing damage or not, you can't sit on top of Zealots. So you gotta retreat.
Correct.
And now they just, I guess, connect a little bit quicker. They're better at pursuing. So it's kind of interesting to see. I mean, there's not too much that really affects, I feel, the mid-game on the current patch or anything like that. So we'll see if anything else comes out of that. I noticed, I'm not 100% sure, but I noticed that Future, at the end of that last game, was making a Raven. And I wonder if he was making a Raven because he had the starport on his tech lab for advanced ballistics.
And he's
When
like,
you
"Might as
didn't actually
well."
need to do that because it's on a fusion core now.
Oh,
Or whether if he
right.
actually swapped it just because he really wanted a Raven.
Oh, yeah. He could have moved it by accident, for sure.
Yeah, so it's kind of that's one thing I was wondering. I think that is actually the nicest change for Terran in the world. People are always like, "Oh, why don't Terran just build something that requires a tech lab?" It's actually a lot. It like massively changes your build in order to get something like that. So not having to do that, it might make like single starport Liberator builds more reasonable, in which you maybe build up because
Right.
and get that advanced ballistics as opposed to just really committing hard into Liberators because you got to make the second starport to get the tech lab on.
Yeah, makes sense.
DisK doing this thing with his gases, by the way. This is kind of interesting.
Yeah, why is he oversaturating?
I don't know.
Okay. Mysterious.
The Reaper dies.
Yeah, that's usually what happens. Reapers against Protoss.
Yeah.
You're gonna survive all that long. sadly.
Spotted the Twilight. I wonder if DisK has done the math for this, because you do mine a little bit more when you're oversaturated. Like,
I guess.
noticeably up to the 20 probe mark. But I don't think you do on the gases. And Future's sending out a random Marine across the map again.
Is he just looking for proxies? That has to be what this is.
Yeah, or, I mean, he's pulling the Adept away, too.
True.
Like, this Adept is on a wild goose chase.
Not harassing. I mean, one Marine guaranteed kill better than maybe some SCVs. One thing I've seen people worry about with the Zealot speed increase is Protoss are like, my death ball, the Zealots will run out ahead. And it's like, look, man. The other two races can handle different speeds of their units in their armies. You
That's
can handle this, I
actually
promise.
hilarious.
I know. Like, it's a serious concern. I don't understand. I'm like, dude, Zerglings exist.
Yeah.
How do you think Zerg handles it? It's not that hard.
Well, they gave High Templars an auto attack too to
Oh,
prevent
that's true.
To prevent the High Templar from wandering forward. It's like, come on. The Raven wanders forward. The Infestor, which is apparently so OP, wanders forward.
Yep.
Some Blizzard employee before that High Templar change went through lost his High Templar because they wandered forward, and he's like, right, this has to end.
Protoss
That
needs
Cyclone,
help.
by the way. That was a bold Cyclone, just walking in there, locking onto a probe, and just walking out. I don't think DisK expected that. Stim pack on the way for Future. He got up that third CC. Now he's getting up all his racks and everything. He's clearly not afraid to play the late game versus Protoss.
Oh, hey, remember how that Cyclone was all brave and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, he dead now. I don't know what that was. I really don't. Out of Future.
Maybe he was like hoping to catch a prism or something by hanging out there.
Sure.
And instead he just caught a bunch of lasers to the face.
Happens to the best of us.
This bunker's got a hold.
It really does. Real quick, thanks for watching Matisse, XIV in Roman numerals, which is 14, I believe. Glad you enjoyed Game 1. Good to have you here.
Game 1 was fantastic.
It really was. This is a thing for DisK, man. The longer you wait, the more Future's going to be prepared for this. So... low ground harass here from DisK, which is a weird thing to say.
I mean, it
That's
works.
what he's doing. Yeah.
DisK is also going into double forge hard, by the way. So, gonna be playing that gateway heavy style, I feel. He's building an Immortal, too. Which I think is gonna be really cool to see how that works with the new Zealots.
Yeah, it's something we're going to have to watch for a while to really see how it affects the game and the meta, especially.
Future
Wow,
is
Future's
dropping.
like, whatever.
DisK realizes that, and he's like, sure, don't mind if I do. Thanks for the combat shield. Except the SCVs were already repairing it, so...
except the SCVs. Saving the day there. A lot of lost mining time, but combat shield is still alive, which
Stalkers
is nice.
catch a tank.
Oh, got him.
They are running for their lives, though. They're pretty committed here.
Oh, the
The dodge.
The juke around. Marauders, though, extra problematic for these stalkers. And 2 stalkers make it out. That was amazing.
Those stalkers have seen some shit.
They have some stories to tell their friends when they go back home.
Ghost Academy for Future already on the way, so I guess he's sniffed out that it's Colossus. Or it's not Colossus.
Yeah, pretty good scout there.
Scan, sees the third base. No gas is taken. I guess that's the main tell that it's a heavy gateway style. Look how speedy those zealots are. As quick as a marine who's stimmed.
It's true. They're so fast. Look how much faster they are than the stalkers, LaughNgamez. It's incredible.
Well, I guess it's a good thing that the stalkers can blink to keep up.
That's a good point.
Okay, what wins in a race? A zealot running across the map or a stalker walking and blinking as often as it can?
I'm gonna go zealot.
I don't know.
I just think consistent faster speed is better than intermittent jump. I don't know. We need to test
Look at
this.
the production tab.
Future's making a lot of things.
And DisK is making zealots.
DisK is like, here's an immortal, I guess.
Oh, man. Oh, Future.
Ah!
How to die to a bunch of zealots that are coming your way. Throw away some units, step 1. DisK has got a scary, scary army.
It's really big right now.
Yeah. When a Protoss is up this much supply on you, you're gonna like, no, that's no good. And these speedy zealots, eager to run into the Widow Mines. This
DisK
observer.
not really interested in pushing in. Yeah.
No, I'm actually really surprised he pulled back. I understand being afraid to push on in, but I think if he tried to push into the third with like a Guardian Shield and a couple of force fields with his sentries, if they didn't get EMP'd. I guess the EMP, probably the main deterrent. He just says, fine, I'll build a 4th base. Gonna go for some Warp Prism harassment. And Future marches.
Yeah, we're pretty even here, man. Army supply about the same. Worker
Here
supply
we go.
about the same.
Zealots into the natural.
They're so speedy.
They are so quick. Zealots into the main. And right now, Future is pushing on in. He EMPs pretty much everything. But is it enough to allow him to still push on in? It's very tough to defend while you are taking on a lot of damage back at... Well, it's very tough to push while you're taking a lot of damage back at home. DisK really just has to buy time. It's on his side at this point. He has killed so many SCVs. Future is down to 22 workers right now. He recalls even some more Zealots while this is going on. Actually, a big chunk of his army, never mind, not the Zealots. And he's just got to defend this attack, and with so many Zealots just running on in there, Future's army is sandwiched, and it's got to boost on out of there. And Future just got bopped with that Zealot counterattack. Oh my gosh.
GG there out of Future, and we are going to a game at number 3. DisK.
He
doesn't need 20 minutes to win. He's done in 9.5 minutes. Okay,
wow.
10.5 minutes, in fairness.
That was crazy. That was a crazy game number 1.
That was awesome. Really good stuff there. The Zealots, man, they seem okay. For all you Protoss people out there who are worried about
They're
this.
useless.
Yeah.
Their harassment, still just as good.
Yeah, and I've always said speed is so important in RTS. Yes, damage output is nice. But the ability to get from point A to point B faster than you could before is really good. So the fact that you can then send Zealots out and they get there way before they used to is awesome. And it kind of scares me as a Zerg player to have Zealots showing up at my third base before I expect them to be able to. So we're here in game number 3 of this best of 3. It's going to be Triton, the ladder edition. And we're tied up 1-1. Gotta say my money's probably on DisK here. He looked really strong in that last game. Future's win was good, but he never looked like head and shoulders better than DisK in that game.
The thing is, Future was just caught out on the map, and then... Like, it's the classic thing. Terran moves out, Protoss sends in Prism, Terran GG's when his attack fails to kill the Protoss.
Yeah, I guess that is fairly traditional, isn't it?
Okay, here we go, Future. Oh boy.
This is what we're talking about.
Yep, well, I guess we should introduce him anyway. He's the man who's proxying. It's Future.
And the guy being proxied, DisK.
This is why you love NA StarCraft, right here. Where's the barracks gonna get built? Oh my gosh, you madman.
Probe's gonna see what's up. At least suspect things.
Yeah, this is why you scout.
I mean, yeah, Protoss probe scouts every single game, so they always have a general good idea of what's going on. So you're going to show up and say, huh, no barracks at home. And say, huh, double gas, eh? Actually, no, he didn't scout the gas.
Future is a tricky player, too. DisK is looking for the barracks just hidden somewhere close.
Yeah.
Because that is something Future does, just hides it.
Future does it. I've seen Cure do it. I've seen Maru do it before. It's
everyone and their dog.
Yeah.
Oh, does the Nexus go up? Oh, if the SCV could have blocked that, that would have been real nice.
Mm-hmm. All right, so at this point, with the double gas, we're looking at Marauder push, yeah?
No, it's just got to be the factory follow-up.
I guess it's only one barracks.
Yeah, yeah, like, if it's a Marauder push, you know it pretty darn soon. The Reaper's going to be out, a Marine's following it up. DisK is only now just making a Stalker. If the bunker gets up, this is a pain to deal with. If not, this is incredibly easy to hold for DisK. We'll see. The Reaper's moving in. I think that bunker is going to finish up, and that is going to give Future a place to retreat to. He's going to be able to pressure the Nexus and the pylon at the front. Reaper's already starting to take on some of these probes. The Marine rallied behind this, is going to be able to hop into that bunker whenever it wants. DisK really just needs to make sure he fires up another Stalker, I feel. But right now, he's just being pulled apart left and right. He's not building anything else right now. He needs another Stalker on the way.
Probes? Do probes count as building something?
Yes.
I don't think so.
But they are not the right thing.
No, they are not the right thing.
Yeah, now he builds another Stalker. He could have pretty much had one like halfway done at least by now. If he had started that when he should have. It's still possible he can save the Nexus here. But it's going to be tough. Oh, look at this. This is NA. Welcome to America.
Who needs defense? Let's
Oh,
go for
Future.
the proxies.
He even sent another SCV. He's like, I'm getting this Nexus.
It's mine.
So, we're going to be having a Protoss who's going to lose his Nexus. And then is going to be following up with a Proxy 3 gateway. Yeah, I think he should throw up another and make it a 4-gate.
I think you should.
Yeah, like this Nexus, it's donezo. Future is even scouting out with his, oh no, the Cyclone. Oh dear. Does he kill the pylon? He's gonna get
That's
the probe.
Yep, he gets the probe. He's going to get the new pylon and then go after the second pylon here. But Warp Gate is complete and the Warpins are done.
Yeah, the Stalker is gonna be able to save this, which is nice for DisK. Unlike he was not able to save his Nexus. And Future does finish up his command center. It's really all about whether Future holds this or not. He could lose a Cyclone, but no, he doesn't. Incredibly
Amazing.
Close. He's gonna get a Stalker, gets a second. I think that is honestly just it. Marines are counter pushing right now. Gonna force DisK's attention somewhere else. And pushing up this ramp is gonna be tough. These Cyclones gotta get repaired. I mean, I was pretty confident in Future being fine, but he really needs to make sure he doesn't just lose these Cyclones.
Oh.
Marines are actually slaughtering the probes back at home for DisK.
What is happening?
Oh my gosh. Oh gosh.
Hey,
Cyclones
look, we're
locking
inside
on
the
the
house.
Stalkers. Siege tank pops out. Yeah. DisK is 2 Stalkers and probes that just, yeah, that's it. GG. Okay, well played. Well played indeed.